This is a podcast from Torvine Voluntary Alliance. Hello, I'm Patrick Downs. Welcome to Word from the Third, where we'll be taking a look at all the big stories and news from the third sector here in Torvine. So today on Word from the Third, we're joined by Lynda from Blaenavon Brownies. But tell me more about your background.
I grew up in Blaenavon. My grandparents, they're all Blaenavon people. My dad played rugby for Blaenavon and quite a few of the sides. I've traced my family back 7 generations.
Wow.
And they were all miners.
Yeah.
My granddad worked at Big Pit. What else can I say about it?
So tell me how you got involved with the Brownies to start
Right,
with.
so how I got involved with Brownies was I was a Brownie, and then I joined the Girl Guides, and my guide leader, Sue, told me that if I did 6 weeks in Brownies, I'd get a badge at the end of it.
Nice.
And I did my 6 weeks and got my badge, and the brown owl at the time, Blanche Rolls, who had been doing it a long time, asked, it was myself and another young lady called Lisa, she asked us if we'd like to stay, so we stayed. And we became young leaders, and then we became adult leaders. And then I think it was about 1993 or 94, I'm not entirely sure, Blanche retired because she had a few other things, and I took over the pack. And I've been there ever since.
So you've been there quite a while then?
I did my badging guides when I was 13. But my warrant was only classed from the age of 18 onwards. So even though I've had my 30 years service badge, I have actually been doing it for a lot longer than 30 years.
So tell me a little bit more about what Brownies do.
Brownies, we do craft. We are at the moment on a switch over from our old programme to our new programme, which has brought everything up to date a little bit more. There's no more sort of hostess badges and house orderly badges. We're more into there's an aviation badge,
nice.
And there's a local history badge, which I'm going to be looking at tonight.
Yeah.
We've done what's called a skill builder, so that's another set of badges that we do in Brownies, and we've just completed our first aid, which was a lot of fun, where the girls bandaged each other's arms, legs, heads, etc. But we do cooking because we use the chapel. We can use the kitchen. We've cooked pizzas. We've done cakes. We've done pancakes and. But ultimately the girls love craft.
Yeah.
Anything that's sticking and gluing and colouring and making. We've done quite a lot in the last.
Yeah.
My leader Karen, who's my Tony Owl, she's been with me 10 years. She is amazing at craft. She can look at something and sort of say, right, we can make something out of. She can look at a row of buttons and find a use for it. A bit of material, she'll find a use for something. So she's very good. So yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, it's very, very wide at the moment. Because we're still learning about the new programme.
Right.
But it sort of brought it up to date. It focuses on girls can.
Yes.
Girls can do anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
So what would you say would be the most enjoyable aspect of what you do in the Brownies?
Do you know, I love seeing the little 7-year-olds blossom into sort of, confident 10-year-olds, where they've sort of, at the very beginning, where they wouldn't even look me in the eye and wouldn't speak to me, to, the sassy 10-year-old that's, jumps and skips through the door, ready to start a new session. But, I love seeing the confidence, because we encourage them to do what they can, and encourage them to be who they can.
Yeah.
So.
What about if I could grant a wish for the brownies? What would that be?
Ooh, grant a wish for the brownies. They'd say that they'd want to do it all year round, but we only do it in term time at the moment because I feel we all need a break. But hopefully they wouldn't want much else because they do love what we do. Hopefully,
yeah. So the question as well, finally, would be how can people get involved? What do they need to do to get in touch?
Right. So to get in touch, they need to go onto the Girl Guiding website, which is www.girlguiding.org, and they register their interest in either becoming a leader or for their girls to join. With that website, it's not just brownies, it goes from rainbows, which I believe is from 4-year-olds.
Right, yeah.
Brownies is 7 to 10, 11, and then obviously guides is on there as well, so you could register for any age, and we're very inclusive. We don't say no to anybody. I had a mum once come to me and ask, her one daughter was in brownies, and she actually said to me, "Oh, it's a shame my other daughter can't come because she's autistic." And I said, "Well, why not?" I wouldn't not. We've had autistic children, we've had disabled children. We don't discriminate against anybody. Anybody can join the brownies.
So, Lynda from Blaenavon Brownies, thanks for talking to us today.
And don't forget, if you want to contact TVA, Torvine Voluntary Alliance, for anything regarding the third sector here in Torvine, get in touch regarding funding, volunteering, any kind of support or governance. info@tvawales.org.uk. You can also find us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at TVA Wales, or of course on the website. It's all there at tvawales.org.uk. This podcast is produced by TVA, Torvine Voluntary Alliance.